Welcome to this SolarEdge instructional video where we'll show you each step of the firmware upgrade process for our CSS-OD storage system. Let's get started. Before starting the firmware upgrade, you must complete the following tasks. 1. Obtain the latest approved firmware package from SolarEdge Support. 2. Copy all firmware files to a FAT32-formatted USB flash drive, maximum 32 GB. 3. Verify that all firmware files are accessible on the USB drive. You are now ready to begin the firmware upgrade. Tap General, then tap System to review the currently installed firmware versions. If the installed firmware versions match the required firmware versions, no upgrade is necessary. If the versions do not match, continue with the following firmware upgrade steps. Before proceeding, take a photo of the HMI software version screen for later comparison and verification. Verify that none of the firmware version fields display only zeros. For example, V3 zeros, B3 zeros, D3 zeros. If you see this format, it may indicate a communication issue with the unit. Resolve the issue before proceeding with the firmware upgrade. To connect the USB device, unscrew the 3 screws to remove the back panel and gain access to the HMI screen. Plug the USB device containing the firmware files into the CSS-OD USB port. It is important that you don't remove the USB drive or power off the system during the upgrade. To begin the firmware upgrade process, tap Settings from the main menu. From the Settings menu, tap Firmware Upgrade. Enter the password and tap Next. All 3 firmware components must be upgraded: CSS Local Interface HMI, Battery Inverter, and Battery Cabinet. Select the appropriate device type: CSS Local Interface HMI for the HMI, Battery Inverter 1 or Battery Inverter 2 for the inverter, Battery Cabinet 1 for the BMS. Then tap Select File. Note that regardless of the device type selected, the same file selection folder will be displayed. For demonstration purposes, this video shows the CSS Local Interface HMI Firmware upgrade process. In the file browser, tap SDA1 to access the USB device contents. Different firmware components require different file types. For the HMI, select the LCD file. For the Battery Cabinet 1, select the BMS file. For the Battery Inverter, select the DSP1 file. Tap on LCD file. Verify that the selected file is displayed in the file selection field, then tap OK. Once the required firmware file has been selected, tap Upgrade Devices to begin the upgrade process. Repeat the same process for the battery inverter and the battery cabinet, making sure to select the required firmware file for each device. If the system includes 2 inverters, repeat the process once more and select Battery Inverter 2. To confirm the firmware upgrade process, tap Settings from the main menu. Tap General, then tap System. Confirm that the firmware upgrade was successfully completed by comparing the displayed software versions with the photo taken before the upgrade. Verify that the software versions have been updated and match the firmware files on the USB drive. The firmware upgrade for the CSS-OD is complete. The system is now ready for operation. For more information on the SolarEdge CSS-OD and SolarEdge One controller, visit our Edge Academy and YouTube channel. Thank you for watching.